Well, here in Abyaneh, actually, we've been here more than, or I don't know, 2 or 3 hours, and this is beautiful. We can see many people from other countries, and here I am with another tourist here. Hi, ma'am. Would you please tell us where are you from and what do you think about Abyaneh?
My name is Christine, and I'm from Norway. And I've been in Iran for 3 days, and this place here is absolutely amazing. It's so different from what we saw in Tehran, and just the colors and the vernacular architecture has been in particular interesting.
That's great. And did you have any special feeling before you arrived to Iran? And then when you saw the reality, or you saw whatever it is in Iran, what was your reaction, or it was the same?
I guess I didn't have too many expectations because I didn't know all that much about Iran. But what I can say is that I was really positively surprised by the welcoming of the people here, and the friendliness and the openness. I guess maybe I was expecting people to be a little bit more reserved and skeptical towards Western tourists. But I've experienced the opposite. People have been extremely friendly and open.
Actually, most Iranians are so famous and popular because of their hospitality and open-hearted, really. And I'm very happy that you really touched this pure reality. What about other things that you have mentioned was very interesting for you, like the weather, probably, or the Iranian cuisine, the food, or the culture?
Definitely, the weather has been interesting, especially since I'm wearing more clothes than I would do in Norway at the same temperature. So I guess the dress code has been, it's been different, but it's also been interesting. It's been a good experience, and now I feel quite comfortable with my clothing. So.
That's great. That's pretty good.
But of course the climate and the desert made a huge impact.
Excellent.
We don't have anything like that.
If you want to compare Iranian, it's very hard to answer this question because you only have been here for 3 days. But if you want to compare Iranian culture in these 3 days, I don't know what you have got from your view, with European culture, is it hard to answer this question?
Yeah, that's a very difficult question. What I can say is that I notice here that people have they have a big pride in their country. It has a long tradition. A long history that you don't see that in the same way in Europe. People are maybe not as conscious about their history.
I see.
Of their land. So that was something that struck me.
Thank you so very much. You said you're Christina, right?
Christine, yes.
Okay, thank you, Christine, for talking to me, and I hope and I wish you a safe trip. And that was my other question. I forgot to add. When I said safe, then I remembered safety in Iran. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's good you asked me about it, because that was one of the things that I did anticipate, that I would feel maybe not as secure as I have.
I see.
Because what you hear, with in Europe with the nuclear program and all these things, I guess that's what's worried me the most. And when I've been here, it has never struck my mind. So.
That's great. So I'm very glad to hear that. Anyway, once again, I wish you good luck. I wish you happy traveling, and I'm definitely sure that you're going to enjoy the rest of your trip. And please do tell your relatives and your friends when you go back to Norway. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you. اون طرف ده از همینجا بریم که یه چیز داشته باشیم.
که برید به یه جوب آب میرسید.
خیلی متشکرم. مرسی. Well, we're going to the other side. We're going to the other side of the village, and I just asked the address how to go there. I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful view of the village. It's wonderful. Follow me. Let's go and see this beautiful village from the other side, from the other view. It's going to the twisting wells and twisting alleys, as I said, winding road. You know, in the old time, they used to have some kind of horses, probably road horses and back horses. And everywhere you go, you can see the old monument. Sometimes they are destroyed, but sometimes there is still a kind of picture that you can get the idea from the past. The architecture, the old door, and the view of the building. It is so interesting, so interesting. Let's go. No matter how the inside of the house looks, but the outside of the houses are all red and full of mud. The red mud, actually. It's so interesting. You see, some ladies are sitting with this beautiful dress. It's just, you know, all the dress is a beautiful harmony. You can see some flowers on their shirts or scarf. They have long scarf. So beautiful. And sometimes it's interesting to see the house, next to the house, they had a place, they used to keep their horses here. It's interesting. So instead of the new daily life that you have cars parked next to your house, here were horses in the old time. Let's go and see what we can see here. I'm going to ask them about where to go. You know, it's a good way to ask them some questions. سلام خانم. ما اینجا میتونیم بریم اون طرف رودخونه که یه تصویر از همینجا مستقیم برم.
از اینجا بریم.
بله.
وسط سرا. دست راست. دوباره میتونید دست چپ.
اوکی.
باز دوباره میپیچید دست راست.
Okay, a right, a left, and a right again. Okay, I hope we don't get lost here. I'm sure we don't. Let's go and follow me. She's asking, are you taking pictures for the movies? I asked the lady how to go to the other side of the building, and she told me, take a right, take a left, and then another right. So I'm going to take a right, take a left, and another right. I hope we don't get lost. Follow me. That was a right. Okay. Well, it's so beautiful, you know, as I said, the spectacular view of the village, up the hill, across from the Abiane village. It's so calm and quiet. It's a bit late in the evening, and you feel that everybody's sleeping, but no, not at all. We're away from the village. We came uphill to here, but I don't know how we're going to go down, but it was really worth it. I hope you enjoy this view. And still we are in Abiane near Kashan. We came up the hill right across from the village of Abyana. You know, we are up, my dear cameraman and I tried to come uphill. It was not easy to come up here, and I still can find the little bit of thorn in my hand, but I mean, it was worth it, especially this view across from the village, and you can see the red muddy shape of the village. It's so quiet and calm. It was not easy to come up here, but it is worth it. You know that food is one of the important issues for all the travelers who travel around the world. You know, besides the places you go and visit, food and eating is something that gives you another pleasure. Here in Iran, we do have different restaurants, different places, and different kind of food. You know, Italian food, Mexican, Russian, and you name it. Many different countries do have restaurants in Iran, or even we have different tastes in Iran. Talking to the manager about it. Hello, sir, and thank you for accepting our conversation. Please go ahead and give us a little bit information about the restaurant we have here in Iran.
Okay. رستوران ما
He says that this restaurant is one of the probably rare Italian restaurant which has been confirmed by the many municipalities from Italy. You know, in Italy there are some restaurants that are being confirmed by Italian municipality, and this restaurant in Iran is one of them. This is interesting that it has been confirmed but by Italian municipality, which is so important. So it is actually working under the supervision of Italian municipality itself. And he's mentioning that because of this we're trying to give the best and one of the kind of food which is specialized to Italian people and Italy to people who love to come here. I'm asking how do people accept this restaurant, even domestic people or foreign tourists who come to Iran, how do they feel when they come to this restaurant, please?
اگه خیلی بخوام تعریف کنم حالت تبلیغات میشه که این کار نخواهم کرد ولی
Well, actually, all the point is that this restaurant, of course, there are many probably Italian restaurants in Tehran, but here he says that he's trying to present one of the best food, which is completely Italian. All the material is brought from Italy directly to Iran to this restaurant, and he's trying to present the best food. And not only the people from other countries, as a tourist who come to Iran, are definitely enjoying the food here, but also domestic tourists and people from Iran, especially the capital Tehran, come to this restaurant. Well, I'm going to ask him about the different kind of food he has in this restaurant.
ما 100% میتونم بگم مثلا
He is mentioning that he does have mostly the food that is so close to Iranian appetite too, Iranian taste. But apart from that, he's offering people all the different kind of food that is served exactly in Italy, from different cheeses or different spaghettis or even main dishes or side dishes, appetizers, and all the things that are presented or offered in Italian restaurants. And he's definitely mentioning that Iranian appetite is so close to what is he trying to offer in this restaurant. خیلی متشکرم از شما و امیدوارم که موفق باشید در کارتون. Thank you very, very much. I wish you good luck. Thank you very, very much. Hi there everybody, those of you who love traveling, especially traveling through Iran. You're once again with you to another beautiful place and wonderful place in Iran. We're going to, this is the north of Iran, when we're going to an attractive center called 2000 and Shiraz Road. It's in north of Iran and goes all the way through the jungle. But before we go up to the jungle and show you some probably mesmerizing picture of this very memorable place, I would like to talk a little bit about the nature. As you can notice, I'm standing next to the river, this flowing water next to me with a melodical voice. It's a soothing voice from the water. You know, water has always been a very beautiful and an important source of relaxation. It gives you some calming and soothing and peaceful situation. I would like to mention that Iran is full of these natural resources. Maybe from the 25 important natural resources that has always been found in the world altogether, more than 20 or 23 of them can be found in Iran. Let's say rivers or small rivers, streams or geysers that come out of the ground with hot water, and then big rivers and some probably angry rivers, which is good for water rafting, even as a sport can be used, can be found here. Plus the rivers, we do have some lagoons, some wetlands, and some caves and oases and deserts all around Iran. It depends on your taste and desire. Either you're a typical person, like me as a usual traveler, or if you are a scholar or a professor of a university who likes to have a research on different kind of species of plants and even animals, this place, Iran, can be a wonderful land for you to explore. Today, we're going to show you another spectacular views of this 2000 and Shiraz Road in north of Iran, and I'm sure that you're going to love it. So get yourself something to drink, probably a cold lemonade or hot coffee and tea, and relaxingly sit and follow us with this beautiful program. Hi, my fellow travelers. Well, I'm standing next to a musical spiral river that calmly and beautifully just goes through the sea, the Caspian Sea. We are in the north of Iran. When we talk about Iran, probably those of you who have never seen Iran think Iran as a barren land and dry land full of deserts. Of course, there are deserts and barren lands in Iran too, which on their own time, they show their charm and attractiveness as well. You know, in the deserts, of course, it is so wonderful, especially at night, that you can easily reach out the sky and pick up the stars. And that is beautiful and attractive as well. But on the other hand, Iran is very good opportunity for Iranian who live in Iran to have this great privilege having 4 seasons. When we say 4 seasons, it doesn't mean there is only the part of dryness and hot weather in Iran. At the same time, we have this great opportunity to go everywhere in Iran, probably a place where we are right now, north of Iran, which is completely green, grassy, full of water and the sea, just like probably those who live in Europe would like to come here and say, wow, this is green land. Well, we do have the green land, but on the other hand, on the part of Iran, which is a little bit drier, we can find charming and attractiveness of the other sections. But here in north of Iran, or probably some other parts of Iran, I can mention even southwest of Iran, in Khuzestan, we do have a great river called Karun, which is so powerful and great that 2 or 3 dams have been built to control the water. And back to the north, and this river, which we just coincidentally bumped into it, that you can find many of them, they flow onto the sea and gives the area a kind of atmosphere that green grasses, tall trees, gives a beautiful, charming and attractive to the situation. So when you talk about Iran, don't think about Iran as a dry land and barren land. It's a 4-season country, has a beautiful and completely diversity of climates, and the trees, rivers, oases, or even caves, lagoons, and wetlands everywhere you go. So take this opportunity, head down to Iran, and take the most out of your shortest vacation.